이어도 사나 요늘 져서 어딜 가리.
Have you ever heard of the mermaids of Jeju Island? Just south of the Korean peninsula lies the magic island of Jeju, one of the 7 wonders of nature. Its spectacular landscape, the results of millions of years of volcanic activity. Known to many as the Hawaii of Korea, it's a popular spot for vacationers and honeymooners all over the Asian world. So it was here we decided to begin our exploration of South Korea. Among other things, Jeju is home to the Haenyeo, traditional women divers who, because of their amazing resilience and grace, have become a living cultural heritage of Korea. Many were taught to free dive by their mothers as early as age 10 and continued diving into their 80s. For centuries, they've made their living hunting and gathering seafood from the ocean floor. Suited up in diving vest for warmth, weights to keep them submerged, and goggles they clear with a handful of mugwort, their only other equipment is a small weeding hoe to pry abalone from the rocks, a net for their catch, and a brightly colored buoy to mark their place in the water. Their catch, abalone, conch, octopus, sea urchins, gleaned during 4 to 5 hours of free diving per day, could garner $25,000 a year in an era when poverty and starvation threatened the lives of many. Due to their earning power, they managed to establish gender equality in a male-dominated society. Girl power, some younger admirers call it. Hailing from villages all over the island, their bright-colored buoys can be spotted in the blue waters of Jeju's coast. But sadly, they're becoming more and more scarce. Fewer and fewer young women want such physically challenging working conditions. Diving repeatedly to depth of 10 to 30 meters, holding your breath for 2 to 3 minutes while you work, is no picnic. Because of the lack of young apprentices, 90% of all Haenyeo are age 50 or older, and more than 50% are over 70. There is the water pressure to contend with daily, the frigid temperature, the danger of injury from the increasing number of motorboats in the area, and of course the dread of shark attacks. So in the past 4 years alone, an average of 9 Haenyeos died each year while working, and not of old age. Most don't want their daughters to follow in their footsteps. Numbering under 23,000 in 1965, their numbers have plummeted to just under 3,000 today. Most admit they've used their money to send their children to school on the mainland so they could enjoy an easier life. It was my dream to meet one of those mermaids of Jeju in person before they all disappeared into history. In a picturesque cove at the foot of Songsan Ichulbong, literally Sunset Peak, I learned a small group of Haenyeo gather twice a day for the benefit of tourists to chant their traditional call to the sea. Here my dream of meeting a real Haenyeo came true. Not only that, 77-year-old Yeon-sun Dok sat down with us, and with a young Korean couple from Seoul translating, she told us a bit about her life as a Haenyeo.
I started my living free diving at the age of 14, and I taught myself the craft. In the morning, if the tide is calm, I go to the sea, always with a group of other Haenyeo. On average, I dive about 5 to 6 hours each day. I want to keep diving as long as I'm able. I don't know any other life.
To round out my Haenyeo experience, I got to watch Jan Sonduk and the other Haenyeo dive for and prepare my lunch. An astounding experience. Freshest seafood I've ever had in my life.
Nothing like having a fresh seafood just caught for you.
안녕하세요. 키타리아서. 자기가